Details of the last 6 hours of the late first Nigerian female combat helicopter pilot Titilope Arotile'S has been released by the Nigerian Air Force (NAF). The details were contained in a preliminary investigation report released by NAF's Director of Public Relations and Information, Ibikunle Daramola, on Sunday, July 19, 2020. Circumstances leading to Arotile'S death, confirmed at the 461 NAF hospital at about 4:45 p.m., began when she received a phone call from her colleague, Flying Officer Perry Karimo, at about 10:55 a.m., who requested that she come to the NAF base for them to work out modalities for their return to Enugu. Arotile'S was staying with her elder sister, Mrs. Damilola Adeboye, at Sabo area of Kaduna, where she stayed awaiting deployment to her next assignment, having only recently completed her promotional examinations. After the call from Karimo, the late Arotile'S had at about 10:58 a.m. placed a call through to Squadron Leader Diepiriye Batubo to clarify issues regarding her deployment. After the 2 phone calls, Arotile'S was conveyed from Sabo to the Nigerian Air Force Base Kaduna by her elder sister, where the deceased dropped her phone for charging at a house in the instructor's pilot quarters belonging to Squadron Leader Alpha Ekele. Arotile'S elder sister, Mrs. Adeboye, at about 4 p.m., dropped the deceased at the NAF base Mami Market for her to photocopy and laminate some documents. According to the investigative reports, it was when Arotile'S was returning from Mami Market at about 4:30 p.m. that 3 of her former schoolmates at the Air Force Secondary School, now Air Force Comprehensive School, Kaduna, drove past her. One of the former classmates, Mr. Nehemiah Adejo, drove the vehicle, which also had Mr. Ibekele Folorinshaw and Mr. Festus Bayegun as occupants. As contained in the findings, Arotile'S schoolmates who live outside NAF base Kaduna were said to be on their way to visit the wife of a squadron leader who lives at Ekabo quarters on the base, when they recognized their schoolmate Arotile'S after passing her. After passing Arotile'S, the driver of the vehicle, Adejo, was said to have reversed the vehicle to quickly meet up with the deceased, who was walking in the opposite direction, knocking her down with significant force and causing her to hit her head on the pavement. According to the NAF reports, upon recognizing their schoolmates, Arotile'S, after passing her, Mr. Adejo, who was driving, reversed the vehicle, ostensibly in an attempt to quickly meet up with the deceased, who was walking in the opposite direction. In the process, the vehicle struck Flying Officer Arotile'S from the rear, knocking her down with significant force and causing her to hit her head on the pavement. The vehicle then ran over parts of her body as it veered off the road beyond the curb and onto the pavement, causing her further injuries. NAF stressed that the death of Arotile'S was caused by blunt force trauma to the head and significant bleeding resulting from being struck by the vehicle. Authorities of the Air Force stated that Adejo, the driver of the vehicle that hit Arotile'S, did not have a valid driver's license. The report, however, pointed out that going by toxicology tests conducted at the 461 NAF hospital, the driver was not drunk as feared in some quarters. NAF stated that no traces of alcohol or psychotropic substances were found in the system of Adejo and others in the vehicle that also had Ibekele Folorinshaw and Festus Bayegun as occupants. Furthermore, NAF berated insinuations in some sections of the public of foul play by the Air Force in the death of Arotile'S. It described as ludicrous insinuations of malevolent intent on the part of the service, noting that the Air Force had invested massive resources in Arotile'S to want to lose one of its prized assets. This is as it decried attempts to politicize her death, urging those Nigerians to respect the sensibilities of families, friends, and her NAF colleagues who are still mourning the loss. Describing the case as a civil one, the Nigerian Air Force said the Nigerian police will be taking up further investigations of the case and charging the suspects to the court. From Lagos, this is Tina Timothy, News Express Nigeria Television.